Okay, boys and girls, welcome back. I've actually been wanting to put off this video for quite some time because I wanted to get the new facilities put in before I, invested any more time in this particular subject matter. However, I've been getting a lot of requests about it, and I'm ready to go ahead and get this out of the way and move on to some other projects, so here it is. And this is meant to be my video primer on new military surplus rifle and pistol owners, to let you guys know kind of an idea of what to look for in terms of condition, and hopefully I want to be able to explain a little bit about the NRA grading process in a nutshell, and basically just give you guys an idea of what to look for when you're buying a used surplus rifle, the things you need to check on, and all that sort of stuff. Now, I can tell right now that this video series is likely going to be at least 2 parts long, so make sure you watch part 2. So I'm going to explore these rifles in detail a little bit for you, but very quickly, on the bottom we have a issued M9130, Russian M9130, and I did make a separate video about that rifle. That's the one that was my battlefield picked up, etc. That rifle is an example of one that would be considered fair condition. We're going to go more into the conditions later. The middle one is a Beechwood K31 Swiss, okay, and you're not going to be able to tell incredibly well in the video, but the stock has quite a bit of wear. The bluing on the metal has a little bit of wear in the high spots, but all in all, it would be considered good to very good condition. The top rifle is a Yugoslavian M48 Mauser in 8mm. It's one that, when I bought it, it was considered unissued or excellent, which would be a rifle that either is packaged in Cosmoline and is essentially brand new, unissued. Unissued meaning that the rifle is in brand new condition as minted from the factory and has never been issued to a soldier, but was stored in the conditions where it could be issued to a soldier and used with a minimal amount of cleaning or restoration on part of the soldier. So an unissued rifle would be one that is essentially a perfectly good working rifle, but basically the creme de la creme, a rifle that is essentially the one you're looking for. As a new military surplus rifle or pistol owner, you are looking for a rifle or pistol that is in unissued or excellent condition, which essentially, for all intents and purposes of the word, would mean new. So let's discuss the NRA grading, and let's look at a few factors that is kind of universally accepted between these rifles, or all surplus rifles, that you need to check on. Let's move on. We have a lot to cover. Okay, let's explore a firearm that would be graded fair with the NRA grading guide for firearms. Okay? As you can see, this stock is very worn. The metal is in the white, as you can see. There are numerous arsenal repairs on the stock. Okay? So let's read the actual description of what they consider a fair firearm to be. In working condition but well worn, perhaps requiring replacement of minor parts or adjustments, no rust, wink wink, but may have corrosion pits which do not render the article unsafe or inoperable. Okay? So as you can see, this rifle would be considered NRA grade fair. Let me move the camera here. I mean, you can see all the metal workings. They are there. See, there's a little bluing left on the receiver, but it's well worn. It's been used quite a bit. The stock is in horrible shape. Much of the metal is in the white. It has lined out pencil, electro pencil marks where they've replaced things like that. You know, in this case, mine's missing a cleaning rod, which isn't a humongous deal. Now, just because a firearm is considered NRA grade fair doesn't mean it's not safe to shoot, okay? It just means that depending on who you are and what you're looking for, this may or may not float your boat. Some collectors generally look at these fair graded firearms like this, especially the 9130, and regard them as being more collectible because of their distressed nature. However, that's up for the individual to decide, because it's your money that's green and you're the one that has to spend it. But I'm just putting out the information as it pertains to the grading system. So there's a fair. Let's move on up the scale a little bit and see if I can find something in my shop that would be considered a good condition. Let's move on. NRA grade good. Now, I'm pretty much going to cover good and very good with this same rifle, because depending on who we're looking at it, you could gather both instances from those descriptions, okay? Just based on the stock wear, some people would let this rifle fall into the category of being a good one. However, if you don't care about the stock and you just look at the condition of the metal, you could pretty much consider it very good. The metal is in extremely good condition, which on these K31s, much of it is, okay? I'm going to change the angle of the camera in a second. We're going to look at some of the other metal parts. If any of you people have seen my review on the K31, you've probably seen this rifle up close already. But anyway, let's read both the descriptions for good and very good. First, we'll cover good. Good, in safe working condition. Minor wear on working surfaces. No broken parts, no corrosion or pitting that would interfere with proper functioning. It really doesn't sound that much different than fair, does it? So, you're starting to see that it's a bit of a subjective opinion in terms of the grading system. So, let's move on to very good. Very good. In perfect working condition. No appreciable wear on working surfaces, no corrosion or pitting, only minor surface dents and scratches. So, you can see that even with the very good description, if you just look at the stock, you know, there's some minor wear here and there. You can tell it's been used. But, if you look at the metal on this rifle, it still has just absolutely beautiful bluing. You know, the bolt looks like it was made practically yesterday. Very little wear. You can see a little bit of wear. Not much. Okay? You know, just gives you an idea what I'm talking about here. I mean, this rifle is a serviceable rifle. You know, if you were a Swiss soldier and you had to go to war and your arsenal had, you know, a couple of thousand of these laying around, I mean, it would be a serviceable weapon. Okay? Alright, now let me move on and change the camera. We're going to talk about what I consider to be an excellent grade or unissued grade rifle. Okay, now we've moved on to, I'm going to cover excellent and perfect or unissued condition. Excellent condition would be new condition, used little, no noticeable marring of wood or metal, bluing perfect, except at muzzle or sharp edges. Okay, that's important to remember. Perfect condition will be in new condition in every respect possible. Okay? So there's your general rules of thumb with gradings. That should give you an idea when you're looking through these magazines like Shotgun News. You'll notice it'll say VG, very good, or G for good, or F for fair. That'll give you an idea of what you know, this gives you a visual representation of what each condition should, in theory, look like. But here's the Hugo Mauser. As you can see, the wood is in impeccable shape. Few little handling marks here and there, but nothing horrible, okay? I mean, the metal is just perfect. I mean, just no problems at all anywhere on this guy, okay? I mean, for all intents and purposes, this Mauser is essentially brand new, okay? I mean, we're talking about cleaning rod, all the capture screws are there, the sight hood. You've got, you know, a good butt plate that's clean. You know, just a smidgen of wear on the high marks, but this rifle would qualify as excellent condition. So now that we've talked about the grades of these rifles, let's move on, and we're actually going to look at areas with each rifle that you want to check when you're buying them. You know, at a gun show or gun shop, pawn shop, surplus store, whatever, individual. So let's move on to that. We got a lot to cover.